Well, howdy there, Internet people. It's Bo again. So, today we're going to talk about four developments that are definitely worth noting in Ukraine at this time. The first is that Russia has cut off natural gas to Poland and Bulgaria. Now, Poland has reportedly supplied tanks, allowed tanks to migrate to Ukraine, and they have also imposed sanctions. Bulgaria has been less active. However, they are allowing an outpost to be used for Western fighters, Western jets. Now, the actual impact of this, it's going to be price fluctuations, not shortages. Poland has been preparing for this and has infrastructure of its own. And most importantly, it's almost May. Natural gas isn't going to be used quite as much. There will probably this gap will probably be filled by alternate suppliers. Probably not going to be a huge thing. Now in Kherson, there is concern about a Russian referendum that they're going to basically put out a fake vote. And say that this area wants to become an independent republic. It's worth noting this area has tons of partisan activity. This is not a pro-Russian area. If there is a vote, Russia has not announced one, but if there is a vote, it would not be likely that it would go in Russia's favor if it was free. I mean, this is part of that thick contested rear that Russia is having to contend with. Russia has a history of running fake referendums. But again, no announcement on that from Russia yet. It still seems to be speculation and worry from the government in Ukraine. The Eastern Offensive. Russia is starting to make small gains. They're not large enough to show the logistical issues yet, and that's kind of what a lot of people are waiting on to see if they'll actually be able to proceed with this offensive. The gains they have made aren't really long enough to stretch the lines to show any logistical problems that they might still have. And then there's one piece of bad news. A Russian cyber offensive was able to collect a bunch of information about vehicular insurance. That is bad news for the partisans. They're going to have to take a lot more precautions. This information will allow Russia to tie a vehicle to a person and an address. So that means that the partisans will now have to start switching out tags and making sure that the tag they obtain to put on the vehicle they're going to use is of the same make and model, or they'll have to start borrowing vehicles. They're not going to be able to use those that are linked to anybody that is sympathetic to the resistance there. That is going to complicate things. So these are the developments that have occurred over the last 48 hours or so that are definitely worth noting, that will end up kind of building into other stories later as the news progresses. Anyway, it's just a thought. Y'all have a good day.